Hello and welcome back to the channel. For any new viewers, my name is Nick and I'm a licensed therapist and coach working in the UK. Today we're tackling a really important topic: how to find a therapist. Now the short answer is look down in the description below and you'll find a link to my website. Thanks for watching and don't forget to like and subscribe for more videos like this. Okay. In all seriousness, finding the right therapist is crucial. Not every client is a good fit for every counsellor. We all have our specialisms and preferences, and as a client, you have every right to be picky. This is a delicate relationship, and you'll likely be sharing things you don't share with anybody else. So finding the right therapist is incredibly important. But how do you do that? So, we've got a few options. First, if you're looking for face-to-face counselling, well, you're going to be limited by who's in your area. Most people don't want to travel 60 miles to find a therapist. But if you want face-to-face, good old Google is there. You can search for local therapists in your area by typing in counselling in your area. But there are other ways too, which we're going to look at later. There's also a fantastic website called Hub of Hope, which we're going to touch on in a bit, which lists a lot of local charities and low-cost counselling services. Keep in mind that low-cost options often have longer waiting times. For private therapists, there are dedicated websites which we're going to discuss shortly. Also, the NHS. Now, the NHS is great. I'm a big believer in the NHS. But, as I'm sure most of you know, they're overloaded. This video isn't going to delve into why that is, but the reality is that waiting lists for the NHS counselling can be huge. I hear anything from 9 to 24 months. And if you're needing support, you likely need it now. That said, I'd still recommend talking to the GP about your mental health. So they offer a lot of different support options, and it's worth getting on the waiting list. You may get a cancellation, you never know. Another option that a lot of people don't know about is employee assistance programs, or EAPs. Now these are wellness programs that companies often purchase to provide support to their employees, which often include some form of counselling. These services are usually free for employees, so the company pays for them, so you're getting free counselling. Sounds great. And obviously the scope varies greatly in what is on offer. Some companies offer more like a short-term phone counselling, while others provide a lot more in-depth support like CBT or trauma therapy or even EMDR. It's definitely worth checking with your company as to what EAP they have, if they have one, and what it offers. Because often it's a lot quicker than the NHS and it's usually free. So, going back to that list of local services, the Hub of Hope. Think of it as a yellow pages for mental health support. You'll find a mixture of everything on here from the NHS, private services, local charities, depending on what you need. It's a great service and it doesn't get enough love. Counselling and are happy to pay for it to see somebody sooner. There are lots of ways to find therapists locally and online. There are some really good websites. The first I would recommend is called the Counselling Directory. As it kind of suggests, it's a directory for therapists, and most of us are on there. You can search by location and specialism, and you can read bios to get to know a counsellor before you commit to anything. And a lot of the counsellors on there offer like a 30-minute free introductory session or something like that, so you can get to know somebody before you commit to anything. A similar one is called Psychology Today. It works in a very similar way. Counsellors have bios you can view and you can contact them about their availability. They're both great options for that. For a more kind of direct to the source approach, there's the BACP website. Now the BACP, or the British Association for Counselling and Psychotherapists, is a major governing body for counsellors in the UK. There are other ones as well, but this is probably the biggest one. On the website, you can search by location, price range, and specialism, and you'll know if they're on the website, they are registered with the BACP. So, how do you know what specialism is right for you? Well, a good way is to talk to a counsellor that you get a good feeling from. Just by seeing what they look like, what they offer, whether it's in your price range, hopefully they're a good fit. They may not be, but most counsellors are self-aware enough to help you find the right person, even if it's not them. We often talk to each other and we have networks that can help each other by signposting clients that we think are a good fit. So that's one option. I'm also going to be making a series of videos, I hope, that explains a lot of the different types of counselling modalities. So like the benefits and the drawbacks. So if there's any you would like me to look at, let me know in the comments. And if you have any questions about finding a counsellor in general, again, leave a comment and I'll try and do my best to answer. Thank you for taking the time to watch, and I hope this has been helpful. Remember, finding the right therapist can take time. A therapist who's good for you might not even be the right therapist for later on, and that's okay. You don't need to stick with the same counsellor forever. A good therapist, again, will recognise this from themselves and will help you find someone that can find the right support in the next stage of your journey. Please take care of yourselves, and I'll hopefully see you in the next video.